Hello and welcome to About 6 Acres. I'm Juana.
And I'm Nick.
And it's been a while.
Yeah, we've been busy, sick, and busy.
So the last time we left off, we actually had been working on determining our goose house project. And we were really excited about that because we had a game plan that did not involve leveling the land.
Yes.
But then we got stopped. And there were two big things that happened. One of them was we really just decided that we did want to have a level ground to work with for a few different reasons. We just felt like it was going to ensure better health for them rather than chance the amount of stagnant water that could stay in their area. So that was one big thing that we decided to just pause, reevaluate, and we're hoping to be able to have someone come out and actually level that area so that we can start with a good solid foundation for them.
What we found out is when we leveled the area for the chicken coop, it was a lot easier to do the build and lay the foundation for the coop and the run. So that's one reason why we're going to level, just because then we can lay things down. We don't have to do an extra step in setting posts at different heights to compensate, because if y'all know, I'm not very good at math and stuff, and so I don't want that extra stress. So we're going to level.
Yeah, and then there's the whole curvature of the earth thing.
Yeah.
The other big thing that happened, which I'm so excited about, and you may have already seen this video actually by the time this runs, but the cool thing that happened was a long-term goal of ours.
The shipping container that we had over by our overflow garden across from where the goats are, we had a friend of ours take that, so now has opened a lot of space and the property looks
so much
different.
better.
So different.
So much better. It's crazy how much that shipping container just added weight to that side, and it wasn't like a good weight. And you know, it was on a long-term goal for us because it costs money to have it removed. And this one friend of ours was like, it is so useful, I could use it. Like I really, really need it because he's got a lot more stuff and a lot bigger property than what we have. So it just made sense. And it was like a gigantic blessing. Like yeah. I can't even.
It's like if you can come and get it and take it, it's yours.
And he's like, I'm there tomorrow. And we're like, no, do it the day after because we got to get all the crap out.
And that was a stressful thing for me because I'm like, where are we going to put the stuff that we put in there, you know, as storage? And realized a lot of the stuff that was in there was junk anyway, so.
Junk to us. Yeah, junk to us because we weren't using it.
Yeah, he actually took some of the things that we know we weren't going to use, so he's like, I'll use it.
Yeah.
I'll have some things for it. And then the rest of the stuff we were able to clear out, put in other storage areas, and then the other things we could throw away that we're not using.
So that's been a huge load because, again, even though it was a long-term plan, it helps us to better see our property and make determinations on other things. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is a starting point of a different project because, again, the Duck Goose house is a little bit on hold. The ducks are not on hold. They're actually coming later this week, and I can't wait to introduce them. Well, I can't wait to meet them and then introduce them to all of you. But today we're going to be talking about an important project because I think it's been a giant stressor for your dad who lives with us.
So we have the chickens and the geese that basically free range all around the property, and with that comes their presents and their gifts that they leave behind.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so they love our covered porch because it's shaded, and of course those presents and poops and everything are directed at our front door. They also put holes in our screen. The geese do. They put holes in our screen. The chickens dug up a lot of the landscape that the goats chewed down, so we are going to try putting up fence to mitigate that issue, to keep them away from the house. So
we're going to be adding in a fence that may seem a little bit incomplete, but we have to start somewhere. So our goal basically is we're going to start at the property line, and we're behind our house right now. And if you've ever seen our garden, there's a little bit of a drop off that we'll show probably a little bit later. And so we're on top of where that drop off is. And unfortunately, because of the way that the house and the land was purchased and built, the house is not at the highest point of the property. It's kind of in the middle, and then there was like, it almost got excavated into it. So it's really, really awkward. But we are going to be, we're in the higher ground right now, and we're going to be using the
perimeter fence as sort of our starting point. So we're going to attach a fence to there coming perpendicular off of there to prevent geese and chickens from coming around the backside of the property.
So, and that's where we're going to start basically. We're just going to start building the fence. We're going to go down almost to where the chicken coop is and where the berry patch garden is. And then at that point, we're going to do a right angle sort of and bring it over to the carport. And then we have another planned section, which is at the front. So again, not a solution that is going to help us in the immediate, like next week or so, but we hope that if we can get the project done properly, in the next month or so, it means that they won't have free access to the front porch, which again is actually going to save us time too, because the amount of time that Nick spends cleaning it so that his dad won't be upset is pretty funny. I mean, you're so sweet.
Because the minute you're done power washing and put up the cords and everything like that, they come back and they're like, "Oh, it's clean, so I can."
Oh, it's time to show you my artwork.
Let me poop right down. So yeah, it's a little wasted time, wasted energy, but we're gonna get this done. So we basically have to mow this area down. And if you're familiar with us, originally this area that's back here is what we call Wildflower Ridge. We planted some native wildflowers and grasses seeded, and so it's been 3 years, and so a lot of them have gone through their seeding cycle already, or dropping seeds, and then there's some right now growing in, we call native weeds. So there's the weeds and the stuff that have been here. So we got to mow that down so we can run our fence through, and hopefully those native plants will come back again next year. The plan is to reseed again more native wildflowers and plants over here, because it does help with the orchard when we have the pollinators come in, bees, moths, other things. And then right on the other side is our garden, so it's been helping a lot, but it has become a little overgrown, so we got to do some maintenance.
Yeah, right now in the fall, I mean, everything is overgrown, and it's also pretty nice and crispy. So that's the plan for today, is basically mow this down. We're hoping to be able to mark the line of where the fence is going to come down. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we can lay some posts down and mark where they're going to go. Maybe. First up, let's mow.
Some of the materials that we got for working on the fence project that we're looking at to keep the geese and the chickens and the goats from coming to the house, we've gotten a roll of this field fence that matches what we have on the perimeter as well. We've got matching T-posts to go with it. So we're going to drive in T-posts. They're 6.5 feet. And so we accounted for, there's something called like frost heave. So you want to drive it below that frost line so it doesn't, when the ground does freeze, it doesn't push up the T-posts. So we have enough space for that, and to match the top of the fence. We got our box of supplies of fence ties, little clips. We're gonna mark out the line of our fence. So we got some twine and a couple stakes that we're gonna put it out, and then possibly mark off. We have a PVC pipe that's marked off every so many feet that we use for
8 feet for this.
Yeah, that we use for the perimeter fence. And then we're also going to do some of the braces and the corner braces with the T-posts with the wedge lock systems that we have. So when we get that 90 degree, and also when we factor in the fence, we'll have to put in one of the H braces for the T-post. So that's really good instead of driving wooden posts, again, because we don't have a tractor, we don't have a thing, beats digging holes.
I feel like it's a little bit less permanent. It's very, very sturdy. It's what we've used for our goat fences. It's worked fantastic. But at the same time, you don't have that permanence of like you've put concrete into the ground.
Yeah, because you get those T-post pullers out if we need to change anything, and just yank the T-posts up and take the little brackets off, and
The brackets are reusable.
you can reusable. Yeah, if you don't bend them too much. But
Don't ask us how we know.
this is the heaviest piece. So that roll of fencing, and here's the thing too. We know there's, when you have a tractor and you have this stuff, it's easier to pull fence with, and there's tools that can stand the fence up and then roll it out and pull it. We don't have that, so we have to utilize our riding lawnmower as best as we can and get it as straight and as tight as possible. Got to use what we got.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? Like, we're not professionals, we're not experts. We're using what we have, and we try to use what we have as best we can. Now, if every weekend all of a sudden we were doing fence projects, maybe we'd invest in certain things. But like I said, the last time that we did a fence project was when we did the girls' pen, like the extended pen.
Yeah, the add-on.
And that was 2 years ago almost. So it just doesn't make sense for us. Like, we also looked into doing like the T-post pounder to get one that was
Pneumatic,
electric,
yeah,
pneumatic,
the gas powered one, and those things. I mean, a manual T-post thing, they're heavy as it is, but those gas powered ones are like 30 some pounds, and I don't like holding them. You're holding 30 pounds up like this, and you're driving, let's say 25,
40,
and it's
yeah.
shaking. Yeah, imagine 40. So you get a little manual T-post, you're only driving it, like we said, we're driving it about 2 feet in the ground, and the soil's not really that hard, and
Yeah.
we should get those in pretty well. So,
And that's what I forgot to do. The T-post driver. That is the other crucial element for this. And if you're not doing a lot, or if you're sharing the load with someone else, the manual one works perfectly fine.
yeah, it's about a 15 pound T-post driver. Just watch your face
And your head.
and your head. So we have a clean line of where we're going to run fence, and you can sort of see where the drop off is that we're talking about. There's like a little cliff, I guess, where they dug out and excavated to make this area flat for the house. And you can see the remaining posts where there was the strands of barbed wire fence that went around. So it actually looped off, and I guess it divided the land into different plots. And there used to be like an old gate up there, so I guess when they ran cows back here, they had a gate ran up there. So we did that. Didn't want to get so close to the edge, and now we're just ready to look and string our line from the perimeter fence down to the corner over there to see how much distance we're going to need.
We ran the line down, and so we think we have a good path for the actual fence. Now, we were going to get started and start setting up some of the posts, but the skies are looking so threatening that I think we're going to pause. The other part of it is
We have to put a gate somewhere over there. So a standard like livestock gate, think about like 8 feet wide, just in case there's an emergency and a vehicle needs to come back to the back power lines, or we need to come back here. And the thing is, I've never installed like a livestock gate or put in like posts. So we're gonna go to the store, look at the gate, what materials that we need, and what posts we need to do that with. Any words of advice would be great, but we're gonna look at gates.
she's the one we want to keep away from the front of the house. Oh, she's a cutie pie. This is Fanny, one of the cuties that Creed has raised. But basically, we're going to go gate shopping, and hopefully we can find a gate that makes sense. And again, we've never installed gates. We have done the dog kennel gate for the goat pens, which have worked amazing. But for this case, we just want to make sure that we account for it properly. And oh my gosh, I am so short, and they are way too tall. So that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next part of this project.
Yeah, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next steps. Remember, you are awesome and you are loved.
Until next time.